सिंधी लैंग्वेज
युग युग खा भाणन गुणवानन ओ माता तुहि जा गुण गाता आकाश लहंदी अचे ही स्वर्ग मां वहंदी अचे कैलाश का कहंदी अचे कल कल कंदी सिंधु कल कल कंदी कल कल कंदी कल कल कंदी सिंधु 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 असांजी मावा अंजल अछो पहरावा पत्थर बिजो तारे सके सिंधु ओहो दरिया एतरी मिठी प्यारी अमा नितने बाछा जी अमा उन मोता घोरी बना सदके बना सिंधु सदके बना सदके बना सदके बना सिंधु 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 सिंधु
We would like to acknowledge the contribution of Ms. Karuna Kamble for the Sindhi Vandana. As the light destroys darkness, in the same way, knowledge destroys ignorance. We all bow to our Julelal Sai for blessing us upon this wonderful occasion.
सिंधी असांजी बोली मिठड़ी असांजी बोली जेतिरी मिठी असांजी बोली आहे ओतिरा ई मिठा असांजा झूलेलाल साईं आहे त अचो असां सभई झूलेलाल जी जे साम्हूं बहिराणे साहिब जी जोत जॻाई सिंधी लैंग्वेज डे प्रोग्राम जी शुरूआत था कई
I request our principal Dr. Bhagwan Varani sir and our honorable guests to please come and light the jewel.
You should lift it, top.
सत्या जो का शहर सजायो ओ सत्या जो का शहर सजायो ओ दिसो जो पिन जो जलो लाल साईं है मैं साईं आयो जो
We all are aware that the success of any educational institution lies in the hands of the principal. The principal is the driving force who manages, guides, supervises various activities of the educational institute. It's my honor to welcome Asanja Pyara Principal Dr. Bhagwan Walani sir to please address the students on stage.
Interstate, not interstate.
Good morning to one and all. Honorable Chief Guest, Madam Shobha Lalchandani, my dear brother Sushil Gajwani ji, my dear sister Barkha Pusalani ji, dear sisters Ashu ma'am, our own Ashu ma'am, you have placed a BTDC for a number of times. She's a wonderful soul. And Lata Didi, and my dear friends, my dear students. This is indeed a wonderful day for all of us. If you take any of the culture of the world, culture always binds people. It may be any culture. It may be a culture of India. And we all know that the whole world is a pluralistic society and thousands of cultures are existing. And especially with reference to India, you will find hundreds in cultures. We know the Maharashtrian culture, we know Gujarati culture, we know many cultures. But Sindhi culture is very unique, least known to the people. And this culture starts with the three principles that Sindhis follow in their life. These three principles are Sikkat, Sachai and Sadgi. I would like to help you in understanding what is that. These are the three principles that most of the people, apart from Sindhis, most of the people will love to follow or must be following. Affection, truthfulness, and simplicity. I believe that Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi followed all those principles and he became very popular across the globe. No doubt he was much more than what I am saying today, but these are the essential qualities a one should have. And you will find these three things in Sindhi people. And we call these three things as ornaments of Sindhi people. If these three things are not there in a person, then person is not a Sindhi person. So these are the typical things we can say identity we can marks of a Sindhi person. And I will believe that whosoever has enrolled in this organization will take away these three things from Bombay Teachers Training College and will implement in the society. Will imbibe these values as a teacher and will create an environment of affection wherever that person goes around. So I will wish that please carry on this philosophy and spread the fragrance of affection in different communities wherever you go. Simplicity, a teacher must follow this value. See, until still if you don't follow the simplicity, this principle, your children are not going to follow you. So please be very simple as you can. Another thing is truthfulness. Be truthful to yourself first and to the society. This is what the message I would like to give you on the International Sindhi Day to you all. I'm happy that no doubt Sindhi students are there, but even other students, I can see the smile and lot of glow is there on the faces of other students also. And especially, I would like to congratulate the entire team, uh, Raju madam, Sapna madam, and Jyoti and Dr. Mandeep Kochar and all the staff members, Manisha ma'am, Raji sir, Nilu ma'am, Ansari sir, was really worked very hard. And I can see the kind of aura in this auditorium. And I believe that we are in good numbers. Initially, I had little this apprehension that whether the students will be there or not, but I'm satisfied today. Another thing which I would like to mention over here, the way the program has been crafted very carefully. This has been crafted on the basis of the music, and music binds the people. And Sindhi Sabhyata's music is very unique. When I was a child, when I was listening to Hindi music, and simultaneously I was also listening to the Sindhi music, I could see that the Sindhi music had an edge over the Hindi music. And if you listen to the Sindhi music of 70s, 75s and 80s, which was much more, I think, superior than even to some of Hindi music also. And I used to compare as a child, I used to say that, my God, Sindhis are so advanced because so many Sindhis were there in film industries and movies like Abana and all those. And if you see the music and rhythm and everything was also competing to the Hindi music. Later on, those filmmakers, they switch over because of the commercial purpose from Sindhi to Hindi. And that's why you will find many more Sindhis in the film industries. So what I want to mention over here is that the kind of culture that we brought in, we couldn't sustain it. But I believe that we must continue our efforts, and because of the introduction of NEP and the way government is encouraging to all the communities to sustain their own languages and to give education in one's own mother tongue, we shall catch up this opportunity, and we must educate our children first in our own mother tongue and then later on regional, national and international language. So I'm not going to take much of your time, but I believe that today is the day to enjoy the Sindhi music. So I congratulate to all the participants, Sindhi students who have really worked very hard, conceptualized, selected based on the base pieces of Sindhi music, and I believe the audience are going to enjoy today's morning. So please have a big round of applause for yourself. Let us enjoy this program. Over to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Balani sir, for ever inspiring words. And of course, I think today the audience are going to definitely take those 3 words that sir has said. Moving on, I would like to introduce our chief guest of the day, Ms. Shobha Lalchandani, a Dawn or Sindhian, is an unsung heroine. She is an MA in Sindhi literature from Mumbai University and also in arts and printing. Born in February 1955 in a celebrity family of Srimati Paru and Sri Thakur Chawla, well-known promoters and preservers of Sindhian. Ms. Shobha had a brief stint as a lecturer in Sindhi in Jain College and MMK College for about 6 years. She is a prolific writer and has written many papers, articles in Sindhi language and also participated in many seminars and cultural events. She has been very actively involved in Hindwasi, a complete family weekly news magazine in Sindhi, which has a global circulation. Ms. Shobha has kept the flag flying indeed. demonstrating her deep commitment to Sindhi. She is humble, humane, and a dedicated person. We are honored to have you, ma'am, here today and would request our principal sir to felicitate.
Our next guest for today is Mr. Sushil Gajwani, sir. He is not only an eminent professional speaker, but also a corporate trainer and a communicator. He is also a filmmaker and a television producer. He hosts a radio show called Dil Se, that is broadcast on radiokarishma.com. A Mumbai University graduate in English literature as well as human resources, and a Doordarshan producer for 7 years. Sushil Gajwani, sir, has been taking training sessions, business etiquettes, communication skills. We would like to invite Dr. Mandeep Kocha ma'am to facilitate Mr. Gajwani, sir.
Introducing our next guest for today, Mrs. Ashu Sharma, who is graduated in arts and music. She started the career of a passion from television, Delhi Doordarshan and Radio Akashvani as artist and anchor. She is devotional bhajan singer and organizes chanting sessions for Buddhist followers. Dubbing artist and event manager, Ashu Sharma with her team of folk artists organized Isha Ambani's Mehendi Ki Raat event. She is associated with Alka Yagnik, Mr. Anup Jalota, Arman Jain, Akshay Kumar, and have showcased live performances with them. We welcome you, ma'am. I request Dr. Rajiv Jha sir to please felicitate Ashu Sharma, ma'am.
Our next guest is Mrs. Varkha Kushlani. She has retired from Air India as a manager. In 2014, she translated Sindhi stories penned by Mr. Thakur Chala, her father, into English called The Spice of Life. She has also translated the biography of Mr. Harish Dubey, written in Sindhi by Mr. Holaram Hans, into English, a passionate Sindhi. She has penned many poems for children in Sindhi, in both scripts, called Dandi Thi Vani. In 2019, she translated an English book, Sindhi, written by Mr. Tulsizad Pahuja into Sindhi Devanagari script. She has also contributed for poems and articles in Sindhi and English towards the Hindwasi Sindhi weekly newspaper of her sister. Also, in 2019, she won an award for the Maharashtra Sindhi Sahitya Academy in September 2019 for the book. And in 2020, she's also received the NCPSL award for Dandi Diwani. We are honored to have you here, ma'am, today, and would request Dr. Ansari to please felicitate ma'am.
Our next guest for today is Mrs. Lata Chabarya Shaw. She is proud to be a Sindhian and she is associated with Jivan Mukdas when she takes her spiritual lessons and also a Vedic scripture known as Viveka Chodamni. She is also a member of NGO called as Caregiver Sathi. One of being an active member of Zumba group in her field, she relished her passion for fitness and dance. Her interest lies in lifestyle shopping, music, travel, and healthcare. Requesting our professor, Dr. Manisha ma'am, to felicitate Mrs. Lata Chabarya Shaw.
The World Sindhi Language Day celebrates the Indo-Aryan language of the historical Sindh region in the western part of the Indian continent. The name Sindhi is derived from the Sindhu River, the original name of the Indus River. It is the official language spoken by the Sindhi people in both countries of India and Pakistan. World Sindhi Language Day happens on April the 10th, when Sindhi language was included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution.
Our Sindhi community has made significant contribution towards nation in various fields. How can we forget our great leaders, Shahid Hemu Kalani, First Lady Chief Minister. Any guesses, history pedagogy students? Suchita Kriplani, perfect. Prominent lawyer Ram Jethmalani. Like Shakespeare, in Sindhi literature, we have Shah Abdul Latif. Former Deputy Prime Minister Lal Krishna Advani, and the list goes on and on and on. So let us all feel proud of our Sindhi community and wish long live our motherland, our language, our great leaders, community, culture, and our own language. With our first team, any guesses which song? Audience? No? So let's check it out.
मैम मैम
हो रहा है बंद कर
बंद कर दो
ठीक